the steward going to close the door. And then I heard these running footsteps. And it was Janet. And she just walked down, and my joy was shattered. You know, I would have and she said, "Oh, I sit here." She just plopped herself down. She had all these bags filled with dried flowers and things she was bringing back to her friends in Chicago. And I just sort of slumped down in the seat and didn't want to talk when you look at her. How dare she take my space? You know? So I saw her fooling around with the earphone plug, and I thought, well, I better help her. And I showed her how to plug it in. And then I heard her speaking in German to the steward, and the steward spoke back to her, and then she spoke to me in English, but the English didn't have an accent, so I figured she must be a German teacher. In fact, I was correct with that. She was just very, very sweet, as Janet always is. She was, even though I was trying my best to ignore her. She just sort of commanded my attention. And I can keep on going with all the details, but anyway, I won't do that. But anyway, in the 8-hour flight, I really began to like her, and that is when we fell in love. And that was the day.
No, that's mine.
Oh. Okay.
Little did we know that right at that moment, our dear twins, Jung-suk Amelia and Sung-suk Emily, were being born in Daegu, Korea. They were born February 23rd, 1987, when I met them. Can you believe that?
Oh my God!
That wasn't meant to be, you know?
So in 2 ways, that was the luckiest day of my life.
So then, and about the time, after about a year, Johnny and I decided to marry, and guess who was being born in Daegu? Jung-suk Amelia and Sung-suk Emily's little brother, Dong-hee Peter, was being born right at the time we were being married. Yeah.
Janet was not supposed to be on that flight. Her flight was canceled, and they just had that one seat where I was, where she was supposed to stay. So in March of 1987, we flew to Seoul to pick up our family of 3 kids. And from the start, Amelia was a go-getter, energetic, social ballerina, wonderful, complex handful of beauty, brains, and bounteous energy, and creativity, and creative talents.
As Emily was saying, she sort of took over the leadership, and it was always really cute because they were all the same size, right? The girls were 4, Peter was 2.5, but everybody thought we'd adopted triplets, and we were nuts, right? Yeah, and what was just so cute was they were always so careful about sharing stuff. But Amelia would sort of say, which one of the things is a smidgen longer? Yeah.
And I called our group the 5, like the 5 fingers on the hand. And I said that Daddy was the thumb, the Mommy was the index finger, and so forth. Amelia was this one, and anyway, and then Peter was the pinky. And it seems to be a little bit reversed now.
So the next really, really important date in our being together was May 7th, the day our wonderful Annabelle, Nora, Francis was born. And guess whose birthday that is? Eric Egan, yeah! So the script continues, the saga continues, and we just couldn't be happier. We couldn't be happier. Just see. Oh yes, our family scripting continued when Amelia and Eric, by chance, met in the Yellow Dress episode, and as soon as Boston, and as soon as we met Eric, we knew he was the one. Solidified by the fact that his birthday was May 7th. All this felt so meant to be. So family and friends, thanks for honoring us with your presence at this joyful special union. Abby and Richard, thanks for birthing this terrific guy on May 7th. And thanks as parents for joining in, Abby and Richard again, for joining in planning and presenting this awesome wedding, right? So we ask you now to please toast the Egonaut bond, which we will cherish for
Forever.